Ka-chow, what's poppin', pumpkin heads? It's your boy Sweet Lou back again with habitat updates. I've made a couple changes since we met last. I set up the irrigation. So this is the head of a hose that goes all the way to our faucet. It's got four joints on it. Two of them I have plugged off. The other two I have leading around the back of the pumpkin to these little nozzles. These make a foot wide circle, and they are attached to a Wi-Fi enabled faucet controller I bought and set up. This thing here. So it hooks up to the faucet, and it has batteries, and it talks to a Wi-Fi node in the house that talks to the Wi-Fi and talks to the faucet and knows what time of day it is. And I set up a program for it to water for a certain length of time. Right now I'm giving it 10 minutes every morning, and it's done before sunrise. So the plants, they don't get cold feet overnight, but they wake up and they've got water in time for the sun to hit them. It's something I bought 4 months ago and finally have it set up, so I'm really excited about it. The tent itself has been reconfigured. I needed to bring back these black poles. It will not stand up with just the white poles. This sort of superstructure, it was fine all by itself with the supports I put at the bottom to keep them straight, but it just won't support the weight of the netting. So when I put the netting on it, it started to collapse. Things started to snap off, and I had to run and get the black poles and set it up and tie them together and get it the right height. But now it's got a really nice shape that I like, and it's kind of protected. It's not the same level of airtightness it was. I'll show you why. One, I haven't set up the door again. That needs to be reinstalled. Two, when we packed everything away, it was pretty hard to get it all together, and unpacking it was very difficult with these 6-inch rods all over. Not 6-inch, God, these are about a foot, maybe 13 inches. These were attached to this nylon rope, and the nylon rope was run through all the netting, tucked into little sleeves I made with this elastic strand that was like a sleeve. It had the nylon rope running around it, and that was battened down tight so no critters could crawl underneath. Right now, I slid out all of those nylon poles for 2 of the 3 sides of this. So one of the things I have to do is re-thread those back in, or make another sleeve on top of the white sleeve, maybe with a black nylon string, and get it so that it's well attached to the nylon and can be battened down. Then I go around to these, I forget what these are called, these screw-in things that will take the rope all the way down to the level of the soil and below it. You can dig into the ground with these if you really hork on it, and it will take the rope all the way down into the ground a bit. It's a lot of work. It's having to repeat that work is sort of a bummer. But I think the order I'm going to do this in is, let me get you the look all the way from up here. You can see it's got a nice shape. I'm pretty happy with that. It looks pleasant. I've got the marigolds around the bottom. I think I'm overwatering them and they're dying. But it's a nice shape, and the plant is doing well, which is sort of burying the lead. Let's take a look at it. This was like a medium age leaf. It wasn't grown. It had started before the migration, and then it wrapped up. This was an older leaf. You can see it's wilting around the edges. But this one here is brand new, and it's robust and it's fuzzy. This breed of pumpkin, the prize winner pumpkin, is fuzzier than the jack I grew last year. This is very happy with this leaf. And then these together, can you see all the way in there? Yeah. These together comprise the vine. That's the main vine. You can see little flowers beginning to form already. Far too early to consider pollinating those, but the fact that it's producing flowers means that there's a good balance of nutrients and that it feels like it's time to produce. So the plant is doing well. I've named it Wadley from The Martian, and it's doing well, and I just need to make sure. Right now there's a small chance of a deer wandering in, so next goes up the door, and then I'll start all the battening down. First around the top, because leaves get in here still. There's like, you can put your arm through the netting and leaves will still fall in and land on there, so I want to get that done, and then all the battening down. But I'm really happy with the irrigations together and that it's back from the dead, and I look forward to it growing. And now I'll do the other part of these videos, which is always a little bit exciting. Just run around to the front of the house, get a lot of mustache time when I'm doing this, and we'll look at the other things we're growing. Our habanero from last year is starting to come back to life. These 3 sprouts are weird. They're really crinkly. I worried that they may have had too much sun too fast. But those are the porcelain pumpkins that are going to grow pink pumpkin. Little tiny radishes next to it that are starting to sprout. And then my absolute favorites are these crunchkins. Size doesn't really matter, so I could keep more than one plant. I'm going to give them a little bit more height, see how they go, and then see which one trellises up. I could keep as many as 3 of those and only cut out 2. There's plenty of space for the vines and plenty of room to trellis up. Yeah, and then our lovely roses, rose-type flowers are doing great. And then this is Jessica Chastain, who's the backup for Wadley from The Martian. They're growing in this plastic container, and I have a 20-gallon fabric container, same as that's coming up soon, to transplant it. And I'll grow that maybe on the side of the house, and we'll have an extra prize winner pumpkin as a backup. I won't protect it from getting munched on, but so it may get eaten later in the year when it gets slim pickings for the deer and they're looking for a tasty treat. But yeah, it's a really good time. I just did a fertilizer run last Friday, and I'll keep doing that every 2 weeks with all the pumpkins. Yeah, and there's a lot to look forward to. I think we're through the worst of it, and just a little bit more project stuff, and then we'll just be like getting good growth on. Thanks for checking in, pumpkin heads. See you later. Bye-bye.